Welcome back to the Lucky Orange Show, our short form podcast where each episode we're giving you 3 rules for building better website experiences. So my guest today is Tina Donati, the founder of Content Curve, where she creates conversion-focused content for a variety of e-commerce brands, MarTech SaaS solutions, and agencies. Much of her work recently has been with Simple Bundles. Simple Bundles is a leading Shopify bundling solution that has helped over 20,000 merchants build better bundles on Shopify without all the operational headaches that you might think of. So today, Tina is bringing us 3 rules for building better product bundles in 2026. Let's get to it. All right, Tina, welcome back to the Lucky Orange Show. I'm excited to have you today to talk about better product bundling in 2026. We'll keep this really relevant by calling it 2026. So what's your first rule for running better bundles in 2026?
Yeah, we're getting right into it. I love it. Okay, so my first rule is build bundles customers would buy even without a discount. So I find so many brands put together product bundles and think like they need to put a discount on it in order for it to sell, but that's not necessarily true. And I actually think some of the best offers I've seen are ones that don't have a super steep discount at all. And the best ones are typically just creating logical pairings that are helping someone solve a specific problem. So Silk and Snow is like a home goods, but they kind of focus on like bedroom furniture brand. And I remember actually one of their Black Friday, Cyber Monday deals last year was if you purchase a mattress, then you get 30% off bed frames plus 40% off your bedding. So yes, there's a discount tied to that one. But if you think about it, the intent there is it just made so much sense. It's a simple solution to complete like this whole set for a bedroom versus just purchasing a one-off thing and then having to come back later to get your sheets and come back later to get, the mattress topper or the bed frame and all of that, where it's like, if someone's purchasing a mattress, maybe they're ready to do their whole bed, redo their whole bedroom and just want the whole kit. So that's what I mean about you don't necessarily have to have such a steep discount on things. It's like if it's a logical pairing that makes the offer feel smart and not desperate, people are going to buy it.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's not just, the bundle doesn't just have to be the discount. It can be the bundle, a functional bundle is kind of what we're saying. And maybe I'm looking ahead at other rules you have, but how would you advise somebody to figure out what their bundles should be? I mean, the example you just provided is very logical and makes sense and pragmatic. Like, let's combine these things that you ultimately need. Is there anything where you would say, let's look at reporting and pull together bundles? Is there anything that maybe, we all want to be data driven, but that may have, yes, it makes sense from a combining these two products together functionally, but also some sort of other element there to make sure that this is something that people would pay for on their own?
Yeah, it's a really good question. There's a couple ways I like to think about this because I feel like this is one of the most common questions I hear is like, what should I bundle, right? If I'm not putting a discount, what should go together? And so a couple ways I like to think about it is first, again, like logical pairings. So just designing something for a specific use case that's helping a customer complete something that they're currently missing in their life. So again, a whole bed set or a skincare routine for oily skin or a gift for your significant other. You're creating something for a specific reason for that person to complete whatever their pain point is in their life. So that's like number one. Another one is really leaning into like seasonality or life events for building a bundle. So I was reading, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the D2C index. It's a monthly consumer. Yeah. Okay. It's for anyone that doesn't know, it's a monthly consumer index report on buying behavior from Common Thread Collective and No Commerce. And so I was reading the last one that was obviously very recent, and it found that between February 8th to 13th, there's like a sharp surge in procrastinators who are hunting for Valentine's Day gifts. And those 5 to 7 days before February 14th actually drive the highest order volume. And so if you think about,
I'm not a part of that. I don't procrastinate.
Okay. Yeah, no. Okay.
For sure.
No, for your significant other.
If
yeah,
she's listening,
does not procrastinate.
Don't do it. I don't overpay for things.
Yeah. But it's funny though, because if you think about it, like people are obviously stressed in those moments, those days leading up to Valentine's Day. They know they're short on time. They know they're looking for convenience, and they're suddenly like very motivated to purchase something quickly. And so when you think about that, I'm like, bundles are a perfect solution because you're just making it so convenient. You put together a gift box. You don't need a discount because, again, they're at that point where they're a little bit more desperate and willing to spend more just to get the gift buying done. And so that's what I mean about kind of like leaning into seasonality and like customer emotions during those seasons to be able to like curate something that's going to help them and know that they're willing to buy it. The last one I will mention, so talking about data, is I always say, looking at your customer history, if you see that shoppers are naturally buying one item and another item together like 5 to 10% of the time, or they're purchasing it and then coming back within like 30 to 60 days and purchasing the second item, that's always a good indicator for that could maybe be a good bundle. But we actually just created a new feature at Simple Bundles for this reason. We call it Bundle Magic. Again, because like I know it can be difficult to always be thinking about, oh, like what new bundles should I create? And you know, there's going to be bundles that you have always on your website, but then there is going to be like those seasonal moments that you maybe want to test new offerings. So basically, Bundle Magic will look at your purchase behavior and surface bundle suggestions that already make sense. So it like generates the bundle product in Shopify, a potential bundle title. It even curates like the images and description and price for that bundle that you can, you know, customize after yourself if you want to. So as like your customer behavior and your seasons change, obviously your suggestions for what you're going to offer customers might too. So this like new feature that we launched is kind of like this automated way to just be able to like look into all of that data and then just suggest a bundle offering too, which is really, it's been really cool to see brands use it.
Yeah, that's great. Bundle magic. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. There's that sweet spot of like, yes, we can offer this as a bundle. We can get these things delivered together. We might even be able to throw a discount with it for bundling, which, you know, makes it even more attractive. And we tie the story with it. Like, we have these products for a reason. They're a part of a collection or whatever. Let's see how we can combine them. That seems like that's going to be hopefully a hit for Simple Bundles with Bundle Magic. Cool. What is rule number 2?
Yeah. Okay. Rule number 2 is more choice can actually be good. So I know this was something you and I were chatting about very, very vaguely in Slack, but you know, you kind of mentioned like maybe less choice is better because you don't want to add too much friction to shoppers. And I do see a lot of like experts say that online is, you know, like reduce friction, don't give customers as much choice. I actually disagree because I see the benefit of more choice given the right circumstances. So if you have like the right user interface, the design on the page is really good, then more choice doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be more friction. It actually could just make the bundle feel like an opportunity to be tailored to that specific shopper and what they need. So again, though, it really depends. And I've seen it all. We have over 20,000 brands on Simple Bundles at this point. Like, and our app is flexible enough to create any bundle type. Like, there's BOGO deals, there's mix and match, there's fixed bundles, there's free gift with purchase. Like, there really is all the different types. So I've seen brands create all of them, and I've seen every single type work so well. Just again, depending on what the product depending on what the products are being sold in that brand's category and everything like that. So I kind of try to think about it as, you know, if I'm a skincare brand and I want to put together a bundle that's for a routine, again, maybe nighttime routine, there's going to be a moisturizer, there's going to be a cleanser, maybe there's going to be some sort of toner. That doesn't need to give customers choice. The bundle is itself. If you give choice in that kind of bundle, you are causing friction because it's like suddenly, why would I choose a bigger bottle size of the moisturizer but a smaller size of the cleanser? Or why would I swap out one cleanser for another cleanser? Like that's adding friction, in my opinion. It's making it confusing when it's like, here's the nighttime routine that we suggest, done, easy. What you could do with that kind of bundle is maybe do a free gift with purchase. So it's like, buy this nighttime routine and we'll give you a free washcloth. I just saw one of our brands actually offer that exact offering. So that in that sense, less choice makes sense. But then there's apparel brands, and I feel like this is the place where having mix and match bundles and more choice and more flexibility is actually important. So I was just pitching a really big apparel brand about this because I went on their website and I noticed they had like these t-shirt 3-packs. and they were all fixed sets. There was no, you couldn't choose the colors. It was like, these are the 3 colors that you get, and we have like 5 of these 3 packs, and they're all 3 different colors. And so it's like, that's frustrating to me as a shopper, because I'm like, what if I like 2 out of the 3 colors, but I really hate the third one, right? And I don't like, it's like I could go find the 2 that I like separately in the catalog and purchase them separately instead of buy the bundle. But then what if they're not available as individual items? They're only available in the bundle, which a lot of brands do. And so that is an exact situation where, hey, more choice and flexibility is actually, it's actually not causing friction. It's making it a better situation for the buyer. So that's kind of what I mean about like, yes, even though you can simplify the choices to a fixed bundle, for some brands, that actually might be a more friction, or a bigger friction experience than to just give them choice. So
I think, I mean, the classic conversation is like, you go to the grocery store and if there's 15 ketchups, it's hard to choose, you don't know the difference between them. But I think what you're describing is, it's almost like the bundle itself, the complexity of different types of bundles, different ways to purchase the same product. If you can make that a really usable experience on the website, and you can make it very obvious how you bundle or how you don't bundle, or how you pick and choose and customize, you make that process easy. That like worry about the complexity of bundling options and discounts and stuff kind of fades away. If it feels more natural to bundle those things.
Totally.
I think you mentioned different bundle types. So I think the t-shirt example is a good one, where it's like, I want to pick and choose, or I want to create my own bundle, or maybe I just want one, whatever it is. Do you ever see brands running within the same store experience different types of offers for different types of things? Or does that add too much complexity? So you got a BOGO over here and you've got a free gift with purchase over here. Is that too much? Or can the flow be usable enough that can work for brands?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I actually encourage people to try different types on their store at once. And I think beauty brands are a really good example of this, because there's kits you can put together of like, you're getting your foundation and your eyeshadow and your lipstick, and everyone's skin tone is so different that you're going to want different shades when it comes to, do I prefer brown eyeshadow, or do I prefer blue eyeshadow? Do I want a more red lipstick, or do I like pink lipstick? Like, having choice there, great. You want a more of like a mix and match bundle for that sort of thing. But then again, like a lot of these brands that sell like cosmetics, they sometimes sell skincare too. And so, they sometimes sell skincare with like cleanser, moisturizer, that stuff too. So again, you're also going to have fixed bundles. But then Black Friday, Cyber Monday rolls around, and you maybe want to push a BOGO deal or a free gift with purchase. And so honestly, I do think some of the best brands that are driving the highest average order value are the ones that are, experimenting with a mix of types, and they're working with a partner that makes it super flexible for them to be able to do that.
And I'll go ahead and say it. I think that something like Symbol Bundles, with what we're talking about, having a full-on solution for this makes sense. You can't just randomly go at it. I think about it in the same way with like a rewards program. I think everybody has elevated a rewards program to saying, okay, we need a tool to help us do this. We need somebody to help, whatever it is. Bundling has to be up on that same level, where you say, this isn't just to run a sale every now and then randomly. We need to be able to track it through, through all our reporting and all our metrics, but we also need to be conscious of how we're bundling things, be able to pull it off on our website logistically, and all that. Obviously, there's a lot of trickle down. So having a partner, having a tool, having all those resources really turns it into a situation where you can see a lot more ROI than just random throwing opportunities out there for people.
Yeah. And I mean, like, there's obviously so many bundle apps, and like, I don't want to speak badly about anyone, because I think every single one of them.
Do it.
We're gonna choose violence today.
Name names, Tina.
We'll
see you all at Shopify events. We'll fight it out in the parking lot.
See you in all a few months. Hope we're friends. No, we honestly, like, we do see our competitors at Editions, and like we love everyone. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, there's honestly, there's a specific use case and a different reason to use a different bundling app, right? Like, Shopify bundles is super easy out of the gate for someone who maybe wants to experiment for the first time. And then there's other bundles that other bundling apps that are like, a bit more of like a cookie cutter situation where, every person that uses that app, it might kind of look the same on their website. But again, it's good for them. Um, we are going with the less focusing on cookie cutter out of the box, and we wanted to give our brands a lot more flexibility and like being able to take the meta fields from our bundle and actually like make it extensible to their website. So a developer or an agency or even our team can help go in and like make sure it's customized to look exactly how you want it to on your page. But then we focus on the back end, so making sure that like the breaking down of those bundles, the syncing to Shopify, to your warehouse, and all of that is super clean, which is actually what my third point was going to be. If you want me to get
Let's
into
bring
that.
it home. Let's bring it home. What's rule number 3?
Perfect. So rule number 3 is, keeping bundles clean on the operations side. So we talk so much about building bundles and what products should we put in the bundles, what type of bundle, how should it look on the website, but we forget that there's like this whole world behind the scenes of complete chaos when it comes to bundles. And typically brands do not realize how messy it is until they're in the situation. So it's like they don't foresee it until something breaks, and then it's like, oh shit, like this is a problem. And so like when you start selling consistently, when you become like permanent products, or when you start touching fulfillment, inventory, POS, and subscriptions, that's where like these breakings start to show. And some of the like the biggest issues we've seen is like inventory drift. So bundle components, when they're shared across products, it's like not syncing properly. So you don't know when something's a bundle and when it's not. You start overselling bundles because the individual product is actually out of stock, but the bundle doesn't show it because again, the SKUs didn't sync. There's the order line items aren't probably being sent to your 3PL, so the people at like the fulfillment centers don't actually know what to pick and pack for orders in a bundle. There's discount conflicts, theme issues, compatibility issues with how it looks on your Shopify store, and then like obviously reporting gaps because you can't report on how your bundles are performing if it's not even syncing properly to Shopify in the first place. So those are like kind of the main issues that we tend to see. And so anyway, the whole point is to just keep your bundles clean, and that's kind of the other part is the Shopify app that we specialize in is making sure that those bundle components are properly being broken down across all of your back end and operation systems so that you don't run into those issues, while again still being able to be flexible enough with what kind of bundle offers you show on the website and how they look.
Break that down a little bit more. How would you, I think the spidering out of the negative impact of not doing this makes a ton of sense. What does it look like in practice to keep things clean? And the advice may be different for a business that's saying we want to start doing bundling. They might have a better opportunity to just start clean versus a company who's saying, oh shit, she's right. We're in this right now. How do we climb out of it? Advice is probably similar, but a little bit different. Where would we look to start there to keep things clean? Like what's the center of truth that, and I know this is a multi-pronged thing, right? Like if your fulfillment's not ready for it, if it's a 4-pronged chair and one thing's not there and you follow it, like they all have to be there. But where should a team even start to look?
Yeah, it's a good question because you're right. It's like, that's why I said like you don't necessarily realize how messy it gets on the back end until something breaks. And then that's when you're like, oh no, like our current bundle operations is not working. And then customers are getting the wrong orders, or it's taking forever to get their orders, or things are getting lost, blah, blah, blah. And so I guess just to like break it down, when I talk about bundle inventory management, I'm talking about like the process of making sure the line items that make up a product bundle and its components are being tracked accurately across Shopify's product catalog, your warehouse picking and packing workflows, multi-location inventory. So if you're selling internationally and you maybe have one location in this country and one in this country, your shipping logic, even like how bundles are being returned and restocked, and your 3PL system. So when you're doing this effectively, it ensures, again, like you're never overselling of a bundle. Your warehouse knows exactly what to pick and pack when they're getting those bundle orders ready to ship. The shipping rates reflect the true dimensions and weight of that bundle. You avoid like too many split shipments. And then customers can also like return one item of a bundle instead of the bundle as a whole if maybe one item is incorrect. And all of your inventory tracking stays reliable across all your systems, whether you're using NetSuite, ERP, or whatever it is, because everyone kind of uses different systems depending on the size of their business. And so basically, you can't expect Shopify to behave like a warehouse system. It's not. You also can't expect your 3PL to understand Shopify's digital configuration. And so think about like what we're doing is we're kind of sitting in between both and like providing that structured way to align the two of them together to make sure that there's like clear mapping between bundles being sold across both of those systems.
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. And I think this is a good time in the year to be talking about this because people, are prepared for holiday seasons where there's so much rush. That's not the time to stand a program up for any of this. It's not a time to rush and say, oh crap, we're in the middle of it while you're trying to stand up everything else for those seasons. So now is the time to make the switch if you're in, if you're in that situation where you're overwhelmed that things aren't going well, or you're considering bundling as a new revenue opportunity for your business. So Tina, thank you so much for sharing these rules with us. Where can people learn more about simple bundles if they're interested, or if they have questions about what you're talking about here and want to connect with you directly?
Yeah. I highly recommend going to our website, simplebundles.com. We publish a ton of content there. We also have a YouTube channel. We embed a lot of our YouTube videos on our website, so you can always find them in our blog content, but we publish quite a lot of YouTube videos as well on our channel, Simple Bundles. And then obviously in the Shopify App Store, if you wanna give us a test and go, we have a free plan that lets you create up to 3 types of bundles of any type.
Nice. That's amazing. Well, Tina, thank you so much for your time and for all your knowledge that you're sharing with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's always so much fun to chat with you and to come on the Lucky Orange Show. So appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Lucky Orange Show. Before we go, if you haven't tried Lucky Orange yet, head over to www.luckyorange.com for a free 7-day trial of our leading conversion rate optimization toolkit. What's in that toolkit? Well, let's start with session recordings and heat maps. With session recordings, you can watch a full playback of an entire visitor journey on your website. Everywhere they click, scroll, move, everything they do in your site, a full playback. So you can see what's getting in the way of conversions and what is getting people over that finish line to convert. With dynamic heat maps, you can see the average visitor behavior on a page. So you can see clicks, moves, and scrolls. You can see how far down the page the average visitor is scrolling. And if something is below that line, that means that more than 50% of visitors are not seeing that. Lucky Orange also offers tools like live chat, announcements, and surveys so that you can communicate with your website visitors in real time. So again, if you have not tried Lucky Orange or if you're not a user yet, head over to luckyorange.com, check it out, 7-day free trial with no credit card required. If you're a Shopify store owner, head over to the Shopify App Store to download the Lucky Orange app to your store today, as well as BigCommerce, HubSpot, Square, and many more. Check us out and happy optimizing.